you and I, even though we've got a yin and yang, the one thing you and I have in common, along with our friend Mary Ann, which we had in high school, and the parents talked about it, we could procrastinate.
Yeah, we were terrible.
As Mrs. Candido would say, you guys could talk all day about what you're going to do and get nothing done. And
that's the mother of one of our best friends. We loved her.
I've never seen
three people talk so much.
Talk so much about what they're going to do and get nothing done. And you and I, unfortunately, can feed off that. Oh, Jan, we're going to do it. We're writing a book. It's been 3 years. We'll get it out. But somebody needs to give us a deadline. And when we get a deadline, but I was like that in high school and I was like that in college. Were you the same way?
Yeah.
You could have a term paper that you had all semester to write. And when was it written? 2 days before it was due? Oh, you might have thought about it.
I had an advisor in college tell me that I was one of the lucky ones. And he said, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're a procrastinator. He goes, but you know how to procrastinate. And I said, what does that mean? He goes, you're smart enough to get it done correctly, and you know that there's that make or break moment when you got to do it. He said, other students aren't so lucky. They procrastinate, and then they're kind of,
Well, I tried to do better, and you and I both had. I think you were in my class with Emo Elgis our senior year.
No, that was you.
So that was me, and I had to, this was at Pomperaug High School. John and I went to high school together in Southbury, Middlebury, Connecticut. And I had to write a story about why Quebec wanted to leave Canada, seceding from Canada. So they were going to become their own country.
They're always complaining. They want to secede.
Quebec's going to leave, and they're going to break up the country. Canada, we had to write about why that would not be a good thing, or why it could be a good thing. So my grandmother, my relatives were Canadian, so I thought, well, I'll just ask my grandmother. Why do research? My grandmother was born in England, so a staunch Anglophile, wanted nothing to do with the French, and so I wrote this whole paper from my grandmother's point of view, with no bibliography, nothing. And I remember that Emil just handing out
this
papers.
is my favorite story.
He's handing out all the papers. I'm like, where is mine? And all of a sudden he comes with a baggie from behind. With a baggie and
one of those Ziploc lunch.
Right. The paper was folded up in like 3 inches by 3 inch square in this baggie. And I have the whole class is looking, and he comes and he drops it. And I said, what's that? He goes, your paper. And I said, well, why is that? He said, it shouldn't be handled.
He was a real...
Meaning it was,
shouldn't be handled.
Right, you know what that means, what's in a baggie.
Doggy poop.
Right, write it again. And then he did laugh about it. He's like, where'd you get all... I said, my grandmother's Canadian.
And that's the other thing. We used to be able to talk our way out of anything. Yeah. Man, did we talk... And this... By the way, my mom, who taught in the region, they'd laugh about our excuses in the teacher's lounge. Did you hear what Nash and Bennett came up with this week?